All governments must comply with GASB Statement Number 87, the new accounting standard that changes the lease definition. The new standard requires lessees to recognize a lease liability and an intangible right-to-use asset for most leases. The steps to comply are more complex than most realize. Governments must also revise their lease evaluation process so new leases and amendments can be recorded to comply with GASB 87. Compiling the complete population of agreements that could meet the new lease definition is an enormous challenge. The process to implement the new standard requires reviewing agreements and changing processes across the organization. The implementation can take months and requires significant resources along with the right skills and technology to guide the process. In our recent survey, 1/3 of companies reported requests for additional budget for lease implementation projects. 3/4 of respondents reported they would use a lease automation system. KPMG developed a powerful approach and tool that can help governments implement the standard and comply with GASB 87 without having to manage tedious day-to-day details. With our on-demand leasing service, governments send KPMG lease information. Our GASB-trained professionals evaluate the agreements and enter relevant terms into our proprietary KPMG Leasing Tool for processing. We provide governments with journal entries to review and record lease transactions in the general ledger. We also send documentation to support audits. The result is a smooth and efficient lease evaluation and maintenance process that continues as governments add and amend leases. This large city comptroller tries to evaluate the lease population in a spreadsheet. Some agreements and amendments are missing, and some have embedded lease agreements. Also, other agreements not identified as leases under the previous guidance now meet the new definition and must be included in the lease population. Our on-demand leasing service could help this comptroller simplify and expedite the new standard implementation and maintenance process. In this example, a state agency CFO works with KPMG to evaluate a complex lease portfolio. He stays up to date with an intuitive dashboard that shows the agency's recent lease data upload activity and latest financial reports. Our on-demand leasing service allows government staff to focus on other day-to-day public work. The tool also provides CFOs and comptrollers a snapshot of their lease portfolio, as well as year-end financial statements. The lease compliance clock is ticking. Have you started? Learn how KPMG helps governments comply with the new leasing standard for the long term.